Alrighty, hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Tank and Trucker, and today we are going to do a review of the T110E4 tank destroyer. I was kind of surprised I hadn't done a review on this yet. I haven't done one on the E3 either, so I might do that maybe after this one here. But this is by far probably one of my favorite tank destroyers. One, because it's got one hell of a boomstick on it, and two, because the turret actually does oscillate, or turn, I'm sorry. Turn from left and right, and it does a 90 degree from left and right, so not all the way. It won't do a 360 or 180, but you get pretty much all the way to the each side, which is really nice. It's always nice if you're in a tank destroyer to have that turret ability. Most tank destroyers like your T110E3 doesn't, and if you you can get circle strafe, somebody starts getting around you, they can just really put a hurting on you. So, anyways. Let's see what you get. 2,000 hit points, which is actually pretty good for tank destroyer, because usually tank destroyers are a lot lower hit point wise, and this is a tier 10. Your hull armor is it's got really good armor all the way around. It's got a lot like the T110E5, but it's the weak points that Commander's cupola right there, that machine gun port. But your hull armor in the front is 260, and your turret is 203. If you're trying to kill this and you shoot a turret, your best bet is to try and shoot the cheeks or this lower plate. It's like the T110E5 with lower plate right in this area or up in here. You might have a little more difficulty towards the center because you can see it's kind of got like an arc to it. Kind of bows out. Kind of a really like a U-shaped. So your best bet is to try and shoot in the corners of the tracks there. If you're at an angle, you can shoot right here and knock your track off, go right through the side and pen it. So 203 on the turret on the front, 260 on the hull front. And then on the side, you got 76 on the hull on the side and 152 on the turret side. So it's got good armor on the turret all the way around, basically. And on your keister, you got 38 in the rear and 152 in the rear of the turret. 38 on the hull, obviously. Got that big old exhaust port right there. When I was in the military, the M1 Abrams, we would get hot dogs and we could cook them on the back of the exhaust ports. You hold them back there far enough away so you don't get burnt, and you'll cook a hot dog pretty darn quick. I really like this tank destroyer. It is pretty phenomenal. But we'll go over the boomstick here. It is a 155mm AT gun T7E2. Basically what that's saying is don't drive in front of it because it will devastate you. Rate of fire is 3.8 rounds a minute. 295 standard pen, 375 premium, and you get APCR for your premium round, which is phenomenal. And 90 for your HE rounds. 750 average damage for your standard and your premium round, and 1,100 on your HE. Actually, it's got 90 penetration for your HE, so that's actually pretty good. I'm going to have to try shooting a couple things with HE rounds with this just to see what kind of average damage it does, because 90 pen for an HE is getting up there. That's pretty high. Average damage per minute is 2,308. Dispersion is 0.37, and aim time is 2.9. So stacked, the aim time and dispersion isn't the best, but I've got a great crew. I've got Brothers in Arms, Sixth Sense, Recon on the first one, and Snapshot, Concealment, Clutch Braking, Concealment, Safe Stowage, Concealment, Concealment, and Repairs. So I've got a pretty good setup on this, and it's probably one of my more favorite tank destroyers. My rate of fire is 3.65 rounds a minute. My reload is 16.5 seconds. The turret traverse is 19.2, and the traverse speed of the hull is 29.33. So you got to watch it because you can get circle strafed by a pretty fast medium or a scout. They get on your side if they shoot you in the hull or the rear of the hull. You're going to get penned. Turret, you still might bounce some, but just try and keep them from circling you back into a wall, a rock, a building, so they can't get around you unless they want to go all the way around the building. Where are we at here? Yep, the turret excuse me, turret traverse angle is 90 and 90. So like I said, you can shoot. It'll go over to the, basically from the side and to the side over here. Look to your, like you're moving your head to the left or right. Basically to the left and to the right, off to one side, which is really nice. It's not as good as like the T-28 prototype where you can almost aim all the way back behind you, but still, it's better than nothing for a TD. It's got -6 gun depression, which is actually, it's alright. You'd always want more, but 6 is actually pretty good. You can work ridge lines with it. Unfortunately, a lot of times you find yourself having to come up over the ridge line, which kind of sucks, but, you can make it work. And you got 12 elevation. Aim time is 2.47 seconds, so the aim time, even with the crew I have, I've got gun rammer, gun lane drive, nods, so even with a gun lane drive and brothers in arms and third crew skill, I mean, it's still kind of it's not painfully long. It's 2.47, which, it's alright. And that brings my dispersion down to 0.35. I like having 0.32, 0.33, but still 3.5 is actually not bad. I'm not going to complain about it. My average damage per minute is 2,735. Weight limit is 64.6 tons, so yeah, if you get something in front of you, a medium or a light, crush them. Just run right into them. You'll smash the snot out of them. Even if it's a heavy, like Tier 8 heavy, you can ram into those. Tier 9s, yeah, you're going to start hurting yourself. Tier 10s, that's where it's probably going to, don't ram them unless you really have to. It's got an 875 horsepower motor, which brings your specific power to weight ratio, if I can talk, up to 13.55, which is actually pretty good for this big of a tank destroyer. Top speed is 35 and forward, 10 in reverse, and you'll get up to that 35 kph pretty quick. Not the fastest in the world, but pretty quick. And you'll maintain it unless you're going up a hill. We went over traverse speed. Concealment is 18.7, which actually, for the size of this tank destroyer, is pretty good. Not bad at all. View range is 405, and that's why I went with nods on this instead of vents, because 405 is alright, but in a tank destroyer, you want that view range. You want to be able to reach out and give them a little bit of loving with that 750 average damage gun and take half their hit points off before they even see you. That way, by the time they get close enough and they spot you, then one more shot. If it's a tier 9 or 8, you can probably take it. Tier 8 definitely will have taken them out in 2 shots. Tier 9, they'll be almost dead. So hopefully you got somebody around you there with you that'll finish them off. If it's a tier 10, a couple shots into them plus somebody, teammate or whatever, then knock them out too. So, yeah, it's always good to have nods. Coated optics are good, but nods are a lot better. It gives you better range on this. If it were a fast moving, like a medium, or a very fast moving tank destroyer, I'd probably do the coated optics instead. But with this, you do a lot of stopping, bushes, camping, and so, that keeps those engaged. As soon as you move, they go unengaged. Signal range is 761, pretty basic. So if you want to hold on a minute, I'll be right back with some gameplay for you. Yeah, so we find ourselves on cliff. This is kind of this is dependent on what vehicle you're in. A lot of times your tank destroyers will go down over here on the one line and watch up here and just kind of camp around that corner. I don't like doing that, especially with artillery at 261 fast firing already every 20-some seconds. You don't want to have that thing popping you every 20-some seconds. So I don't like going down there unless I absolutely really have to. Like if no one else does, I prefer to go up in this area right here. This area, if I can point it out here, kind of, well, I guess you'll just see it in a second where I go. That's where I like to go. Or I'll go around the cliff over here. If I go around this way, I like to prefer and wait till I have a couple tanks backing me up, because otherwise with 16-second load time, you don't want to get over there and be by yourself, because then before you know it, you're going to get your butt knocked out. A lot of times you really want to watch. I'm still aiming that way. Watch up the hill here, because you get your fast movers that like to try getting up the hill, which we did, and I dunked this shot, unfortunately. Shot right in front of him. If he would have been a little bit faster, I'd have hit him and basically 840, he would have had about 100 or less hit points left. To be honest with you, I don't know why a lot, I guess your scouts go up there, and I don't know really why, because you get up there and you're really limited, especially in a scout, because your artillery will be shooting up there at you. Anything that has a shot up there shoots at you as soon as you pop over. You do light a lot of the map for your team, and you can take pop shots in people's asses and stuff when they're, not paying attention, or, knock somebody out real quick if they're almost dead. This guy right here made a very bad mistake. Boom, boom. So my shot and the IS-4, we kind of worked together on this area here, and pretty much decimated all the stuff that was in this area. I knew that he was loaded, but I was shooting him right there, hoping I was going to be able to ammo rack him, but I guess I shot a little bit too forward on the ammo rack on that. But again, the IS-4 and I worked together and knocked him out. So basically, most of their big guns are already out of the match, other than what they had. Yeah, see, standard round, I put it right through his gun mantle. That thing didn't have a chance at AT-15. Just hit him for 874. Great roll. Put it right through his gun mantle, too. Thought he was going to get hidden back there, but I was able just to clip his angle there. So I got Artie shooting at me now. So I'm up to 2,536 damage and 1 kill. And I was trying to stick with the IS-4 because he seemed to know what he was doing. And it's always nice when you can work together side by side with a heavy tank or even a medium, light, whatever, with somebody that's really competent, know what they're doing, and you can cover each other's butts. And even though he was getting the kills on a couple of tanks that I was really knocking the crap out of, I don't really care about the kills. I like to get the damage. I like the big numbers. I'd rather see 4, 5, 6,000 damage over 5 kills. His Super Pershing, he shouldn't even been in here. He really screwed up and teaming up with that Emil. And we already knocked his teammate out here between me and the IS-4 in like 2 or 3 shots. So yeah, should have definitely not been in this match. My only fear was that, Artie just schmucked me for a really good chunk there. My fear was that T-71 popping over and shooting me in the keister. But I think he was too busy dealing with the AMX back there. If I get turned around. The AMX and the STI, so he was dinking around with those. And I wanted a little bit of payback on that artillery for hitting me, and I can't wait till the next patch when they add in the damage meter, because I want to know how much he hit me for, and I have no freaking clue. I mean, obviously he hit me for a good chunk when I'm down to 608 hit points, because I've only was hit previously by the ML1 penned me twice, I think. So this match is pretty much over, as you can see. Yeah, it is now over. So, anyways, I figured I'd get in here and get a couple cap points. Only got a couple, but hey, better than nothing. So if you want to hold on here for a minute, I'll have the post-game stats for you in just a second. Alrighty, so this is the results from that match in the T110E4. I love this tank destroyer. It is phenomenal. The gun on this thing is wicked. Unfortunately, a while back they did nerf it so that all the guns that were 150, 155s on like your T110E3, T110E4, they knocked, and your tank destroyers too, like your 268. They knocked down the amount of alpha per hit. It used to be like 850 per hit, and now they bumped it down to 750. But there's still a good chunk when you hit something. You're taking about, if it's tier 10, you're taking a good quarter of their health off. Tier 9s and 8s, you're taking off half to over 3/4 of their health in one shot. So, yeah, these things are pretty devastating. But anyways, that match was all right. It was a Mastery Badge 3rd class, fire for effect. Actually got a tank sniper on that one, which they made that a lot harder to get. It used to be really pretty easy to get. Now it's a lot more difficult. This is like the second one I've gotten in a couple weeks, and a high caliber. So, I was able to light the Fox 155 and spotted him. Somebody knocked him out. Well, not knocked him out, but they hit him for 58 damage from me spotting him. I kind of got revenge on that artillery because that's the only real big hit I took was from him. And so I was able to knock him out with a single shot for 510 and killed him. I hit their Leopard PTA that looked like he was just AFK on their base. Didn't realize that when I saw him light up. I just, hey, there's a target, shoot it. And hit him for 755, which the average damage on this is 750. So, alright roll. Hit their MO1 and knocked out his ammo rack, which that's really always good to do on an auto loader because you knock out that ammo rack and then that literally will double their load time. So MO1 load time is, let's say, 32 seconds. That's guessing. It bumps it up to 60 some seconds, 40 seconds, 80 seconds, so on and so forth. And hit him for 710, so a little bit of a low roll. Hit the Super Pershing and hit him for 708, so that was kind of a real low roll. AT-15 hit him for 983. It was 2 shots, though. First one hit him for like 750 something, I think, and second one just finished him off. And the Scorpion G, I hit him, destroyed his track, and hit him for 843. So I got a really good roll on him. And also destroyed his track, and somebody else hit him for 307. I think it was the tank that was right next to me on the hill there. It was like bang, bang, and he was dead. And I got a whopping 7 base capture points. I figured there was no use in me trying to go around up the, what is it, the 2 line there? 2 line or 8 line. Get them mixed up on which side I was on here. So it would have been stupid for me to even try going down that way. T110E4's got pretty decent speed, but not fast enough to get down there to get any more damage done. So I figured I'd get a couple cap points. So total damage I did was 4,509 with 2 kills, and I got that tank sniper and high caliber. Got first in damage, and I think it was fourth. Yeah, fourth in experience because tank destroyers, they lessen the amount of experience that you get in matches, which kind of sucks. Because I mean, I did 4,500 damage and fourth highest. 7 Centurion 7-1 villain, they're a real good clan. I think 7-1 isn't that? I think that's a tier 8. Pretty sure it's it might be a tier 9. I can't remember now. T1 or the 110's tier 8. So he did literally almost half of what I did. Still got 2 kills, which he had a real good match though. And he made a 1,013 experience. So you can see they really kind of nerf the experience you make on these. But what can you do? I don't make the rules. I just play the game. But it still was a decent match. I'm not complaining. But I was pretty impressed with our 110 there. Info Seeker, Infoscator, something like that, from Snork. That's a good clan. The 110 is actually a really good tank. Kind of lacking a little bit on the gun for alpha damage. Does a little less than the IS-3. And it's got really good frontal armor. It's got a hell of a pike nose on it. But yeah, he had a real good game. So, kudos to him. Our prototype did, Centurion 7-1. We all actually had a really good game. There's a few, we only had one that did 0 damage. But, you look at the enemy team, they had, 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks that didn't even do any damage. One of them being the Foch 155 that with the autoloader there, that, he dumps his 3 rounds on you, and, you're pretty much, if you're a tier 9, you're either dead or almost dead. If you're tier 8 and lower, you're dead. So, yeah, Scorpion G, really good gun, and he did 0. Super Pershing did 0 damage. I don't know, to be honest. He must have been, oh yeah, he was teamed up with somebody in the MO1. So he decided to click in with an MO1, team up with him, which bypasses his, I can't think what it's called, preferential matchmaking. Yeah, so him clicking in with that MO1, he lost his preferential matchmaking because that will never see over a tier 9, but he clicked in with the MO1, and so he will see tier 10s, and he did, and did 0 damage. And their Leopard PT, I think he was capped on base. He might have been AFK, but yeah, so he wasn't even around. So I had 8 shots, 7 hits, 7 pen, 4,509 damage, 2,446 of it from a distance of more than 300 meters. I got hit 4 times, 3 pen, 1 bounced for a whopping 230 damage bounced. One of those shots was from artillery, so that took a nice chunk out of me. I really didn't pay attention to what else hit me. The AT-15 shot at me. That's the one that bounced. I'm not sure what else shot me and bounced, but oh, actually, it was the only one bounced round. So, and the T110E4 has actually got really pretty good armor. So I was kind of surprised that obviously armor. I mean armor, artillery. That one, I can see that, but I'll have to really pay attention on the replay and see what else hit me that penned me. Damage 6, destroyed 2. Damage caused by my assistance was 365. And I got 7 base capture points. Distance I drove was 1.29 kilometers, which is pretty decent for that, for that tank destroyer, because it's not the fastest in the world. It's pretty good, but, made 49,883 credits. I shot 1 premium. The rest were standard, if I remember right. So after they fixed the tank and resupplied it and fixed I redid my... I think I fixed my track, so the repair kit still made 14,330 credits. Not too shabby at all, without a premium account, I would have lost 2,298, but that's why I love my premium account. It's well worth it for me. I mean, if you play tanks, even if you were to, let's say, play tanks, I don't know, let's say 2 hours a night, hour and a half, 2 hours a night, for 3 or 4 nights a week, the premium time is well worth it in my mind. You basically make 50% more experience, 50% more credits. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, I mean, if you only play it, once or twice a month, then yeah, I mean, obviously, then it's not worth a premium time for you. But so, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, please hit the like button down below, somewhere over there. And please subscribe to the channel. We're at 66 members right now, and once we hit 100, we'll be doing the tank giveaway and the credits, gold, and premium time. So get your friends to subscribe to the channel so we can get going on that. I was thinking of doing it without waiting until I got to 100, but getting real close. Might as well just wait. And, maybe I'll do a drawing for something else here in the next couple days, just for the hell of it to... keep you guys interested. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. So you guys be safe and take care, and I will see you on the battlefield.